What's up, everybody? Today we're going to be taking a look at the game Circus Break. Now, Circus Break is a game where you are trying to escape the circus with a particular character. And with this character, you're going to be trying to meet a prerequisite by drawing from a pool of cards, and then from there trying to find the key. But you're also going to have action cards that you're going to be able to play. So let's check it out. So in this game, you're going to have several different characters to choose from. And depending on the character that you have, they're going to have abilities. They're going to have things called buffs, which are going to be other abilities. And they're also, some of them are going to also have special cards that they're going to be able to use in the game. Now, the object of the game is you're going to be trying to find the key. And you're going to have certain requirements from your card that you're going to have to meet before you're going to be able to take the key and win the game. And the way you're going to win the game is by getting the key and escaping the circus. So I've got two characters over here. I've got Zoe and I've got the giraffe. Now, these are a couple of the basic characters. Some of the characters are going to be more advanced. Also in this game, and I have a basic game set up, you can play a more advanced version, and they also have a couple other different ways you can play this game as well. So anyway, what you're going to be doing in this game is you got a layout of 30 cards over here. And what you're going to be able to do is you're going to be able to hold up to 2 cards in your hand. And then there are other cards, such as the key cards, the tool cards, and the event cards that you're not going to take in hand, but you're going to place off to the side. An event card is basically going to be a card that you're going to draw, and you're just simply going to follow the action on it. You'll have 3 options. One thing you'll be able to do is you'll be able to pick a card and read it. So let's just say I pick this card, and this one has Roar on it. Now, this is an action card, and I will be able to play this card on my turn if I would like to. Another thing I can do is I can use my character's ability. For Zoe over here, if I have the flashlight and the battery, I will be able to look at 2 cards, but I'm not going to be able to pick one up. If I happen to have the flashlight, the battery, and the torch, I will be able to look at 2 cards and then pick one. So right now I've got the Roar card, and this one says force a player to put all cards in hand back to the pool. So the giraffe right now does not have any cards in their hand, so I'm going to go ahead and choose to hold on to this card, and that's going to go ahead and end my turn. Now, another thing I can do on my turn is I can put a card back. So if I don't want this card, I can just simply put it back like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and hold on to this card like so, and let's just say this is Zoe. So now it's the giraffe's turn. Giraffe's going to go ahead and pick up a card. Look, this one says knockout. This says skip a player for 1 turn. So let's just say the giraffe decides, okay, Zoe, I'm going to skip your turn. I'm going to draw another card. And so now it says reject. This one says disable an action card. Now the reject card will actually be able to disable the knockout card if it gets played on me. So I'm going to go ahead and pick this card to hold on to. So the giraffe holds on to that card. So now we go back to Zoe. I'll put this card to the side. Zoe decides to look at this card, and this one says take. This one says read 1 card in the pool and decide whether you want to take it or not. So again, I can hold on to this card, or I can just go ahead and play it now. And again, I can play this card at pretty much at any time on my turn or a future turn. So let's just say I decide to play it. I'm going to go ahead and read a card and see if I want it or not. And this is a knockout card. This one says skip a player for 1 turn. So let's just say I'm going to go ahead and take this card and keep it for later. So I'll go ahead and put that. Now that's going to be my 2 card limit that I'll have right here in my hand. So now it's the giraffe's turn. Giraffe's going to go ahead and peek, and this is the map. Now Zoe actually needs the map. So since this is a tool, I'm going to go ahead and put this tool over here to the side like so, and that's going to be the end of my turn. So now Zoe's going to go ahead and draw a card. This one says search, read 2 cards in the pool. She has a knockout card that she can use, so let's just say she decides she's going to go ahead and play that, and this is going to give her an extra turn. So now she'll go ahead and have 2 cards again, so let's just say she decides to look at this one. This one says take. It says read 1 card in the pool and decide whether you want to take it or not. So let's just say she decides, okay, I'm going to go ahead and play that card, and she chooses this one. And this is the battery. So this is a card that Zoe needs. So she's going to go ahead and keep the battery. So this is not going to go in her hand. This is going to go into the side like this. And this is basically the way the game is going to go. Now here's an example of an event card. This one says all players put all their cards in hand back to the pool. So in this case, what would happen is both these cards in both these players' hands would go back like so. Let's just say on a future turn the giraffe ends up drawing the leaf. Now the leaf is the prerequisite that the giraffe needs in order to pick up the key. So the giraffe is going to go ahead and put this card down for himself. And let's just say at a later turn he ends up finding the key. So what he'll do is he'll go ahead and play the leaf card and play the key card, and that will end up winning the game for him because he has met the prerequisite of the leaf and gotten the key card. And so that's basically the way Circus Break is played. Okay, so just to talk a little bit about the advanced mode, there's just a few differences in this. It has 5 advanced characters and 2 new game mechanics. Here are the advanced characters. You can play these with the normal characters. Now, one thing you're going to have are what are called the super action cards. Essentially, these cards work the same as the regular action cards. They just do more. Now, they're also going to have different event cards, and these are going to be placed to the side, and there's going to be certain cards that are going to be placed in the pool that will tell you to draw an event card. So I'll just briefly show you the different characters here. Here's the boss. He's going to have a tranquilizer dart that he's going to be able to use, and he'll be able to do what's called the routine inspection. Here's the clown. The clown is going to have a balloon, and he'll be able to give a balloon to somebody in order to basically fill up their hand, so they'll be able to have one less card. But the dog is going to have a hole, and he'll be able to use the hole to place extra cards. The fox has a claim ability, and the elephant is going to have what's called painting. And essentially what the elephant will be able to do is he'll be able to put a painting over 4 of the cards, and he'll have that ability. Circus Break is an interesting game. Having a pool of cards to choose from reminds me a lot of Memory. And in a lot of ways, you're having to play this game kind of like Memory. You may end up drawing a card that you may not want, but you put it back, and then you may actually want to use that card later, but you have to remember where it is. You may want to keep the card, but you can only hold it to 2 cards in your hand. But you can play the cards if they are action cards, and you can play them pretty much any time during your turn. Then you also have like the prerequisite cards that you're going to need in order to grab the key. Then you have the event cards, which can also change the game. So there's a lot of back and forth that's going on in this game, and it's pretty cool. Just a lot of different options that you have as far as choosing which character you want. There's some advanced characters in here that have different things like the buff, and then their different abilities. You also have the super abilities. You have a lot of different things going on in this game, and you can mix and match it in a lot of different ways. And it also has like 4 different modes that you can play in as well. So yeah, it's a good game. I think this would make a really good filler game. For me, it did not play that long. It might have lasted maybe 10 minutes. So it's a game that goes by pretty quick, but again, it could go longer or shorter depending on if you're able to find the key. So yeah, check it out. I think anybody who likes games like Memory would probably like it. Anybody that likes playing games with action cards, it's got a little bit of a gotcha on there when you're taking people's cards, and it also has action cards and event cards and all these different modes. I think it's a pretty cool game, so check it out. All right, guys, that's my review of Circus Break. We'll catch you later. Keep on gaming.